Yo, welcome back to the Pick and Roll podcast. My name's Kofor. I'm alongside Zach Dorosic. We're here. It's Thursday morning. We're a little tired. We had intramural basketball last night.
Very tired.
Yeah, we had back-to-back games. That was an experience and a half, I'd say.
Rough stretch
Um,
too.
yeah, it's we got to pick up a win soon. But other than that, we're excited to be back with the podcast. Got some talking points for y'all. Then we're gonna go into some Final Four predictions. That's around the corner. Does it start tomorrow for the women's? I think it starts tomorrow for the women's, right? Yeah, it starts
Yep.
tomorrow for the
Yeah.
women's. So
Texas
we're gonna
plays
start with
tomorrow.
that. Yeah, that's how you know. Okay,
That's how you
of
know
course.
it's coming.
Oh, okay, my fault. And then we're gonna go into some Final Four predictions for the men's side, which start on Saturday. And then we're gonna end off with our Thursday segment, draft them. You will see what the theme is, or whatever you want to call it, is at the end of the episode if you stick around for that. And yeah, we're excited. Zach, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Very tired. I mean, 2 games last night, but we're here. We're here. It's a grind set.
We're here. We're here. It's a grind mindset. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, we're gonna start with some talking points. Obviously, huge night in the NBA for performances of that matter. Um, After we recorded our pod on Tuesday, some of the most like insane night for performances and game slays I've ever seen in my life. We'll start off. Curry went nuts against Memphis. He had 52 and 12 threes that night, which was just insane. I remember seeing some notifications on my phone of like Curry's up to 8 threes, Curry's up to 6 3 or 9 threes, Curry's up to 10. The first notification I got was like he started 4 for 4 from three, which I mean, at this point in his career and in the day and age that we live in, I'm not surprised at all. But it's still props to Curry, especially against the Grizzlies where they have some history behind that and stuff like that. Obviously they played each other in the Western Conference Finals in 2022, and then they kind of had a little bit of a going back and forth with each other with Desmond Bain, or not Desmond Bain, sorry, Dylan Brooks getting under their skin of Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just what are your thoughts on that?
As a Steph fan, I absolutely love that. Since Jimmy Butler got added to the team, we've got some vintage Steph
Mm-hmm.
performances, and I absolutely love it. Especially against a team that was somewhat considered a rival for the Warriors. Like, do you remember that 2021 play-in game where the
Yeah,
Grizzlies knocked
yeah,
out the
yeah, yeah,
Warriors?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Draymond had the game-winning shot. I mean, the floater, the little push shot. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it doesn't get
Yeah,
much better than that. I mean, yeah,
it does. And so, well, doesn't get much better than that. We're gonna get talk performance right here that might be one of the great performances of all time. Nikola Jokic. Well, let's start with this. Actually, no, we'll start with Jokic. Jokic had a 61-point triple double, which is like, holy shit! Like, what the hell did we just
yeah.
watch?
No, that was one of the greatest basketball performances I feel like I've ever seen. I
Me
mean,
too, 100%.
it's up
I
there.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what was it 2 years ago when Doncic had the 60-point triple double, and that was at the time the most points scored in a triple double performance in history.
Yeah, the one
And then
against the Knicks.
yeah, in that
Yeah,
overtime game, and then just 2 days ago, we have another one where he scores one more point. Given it was two overtimes, but I don't care. Like 61 points is 61 points. A triple double is triple double. And then just that game as a whole,
that was game of the year, man.
yeah,
There's absolutely
100%
no
game of the
doubt.
year.
There was a
Yeah,
playoff atmosphere from the moment the ball
100%.
tipped off. That was an absurd game.
It was. Went double overtime. Obviously, Russell Westbrook at the end of the game, a little bit of a brain fart and went straight into Nickeil Alexander Walker. But I mean, that might have been obviously. I think it's a game of the year, but that might be one of the greatest games I've ever watched in my life. Like just from start to finish, how competitive it was in that playoff atmosphere when we're not even at the playoffs yet, given not even at the play-in, and then given the rivalry history that they have, just last season when Minnesota walked into the Nuggets home court in Game 7, came back down 20, went on to win that series in the semifinals of the Western Conference playoffs last year. I think it's just everything around that. Anthony Edwards turned up, Nikola Jokic turned up, um, Jaden McDaniels turned up, and it's just like a whole plethora of things that went into that game that just made it so spectacular to watch. And I mean, you had to be there to see it, honestly.
Now, I wanted to turn the attention. I remember we were talking about during the game who could win a potential playoff series.
Hmm.
Has that game changed anything for you?
Mm, I think I still at that time I stood with the Timberwolves just because Timberwolves have won the playoff or the season series against the Nuggets already this year. They've swept them in the season series. They've won 2 straight against the Nuggets, or they've won 6 straight against the Nuggets, including this regular season and then going back to last year's playoffs. So taking that into consideration, I'm thinking, okay, they're on a hot streak. They have the Nuggets number. But if you look back at the game on Tuesday, Jamal Murray didn't play. And when you go double overtime with a team and your second best player doesn't play, then that obviously gives you a mindset of like, as a fan or as an analyst watching it, oh, if they had Jamal Murray, it's probably done by the end of the fourth quarter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jamal Murray's going to make some big time shots in that game, stuff like that. So if Murray's healthy in the playoff series against the Timberwolves, I would take the Nuggets maybe in 6 or 7. But
I mean, that's not exactly the mindset I have, but I don't like the Wolves that much in the playoffs. I mean, you got a consistent playoff dropper in Julius Randle, who you're kind of banking
that's
on to be
true.
your second offensive option behind Ant. I mean, I trust Ant, but fully, wholeheartedly, I trust Ant in the playoffs. But Julius Randle, one of the biggest playoff droppers in the league. I don't know if I could pick the Wolves over the Nuggets, man.
Would you pick, or if it was Nuggets over Wolves, how many games would you pick them in?
Nuggets over Wolves. I'd probably lean 6. I'd probably lean 6.
6?
I trust Ant to at least get a game or two.
Yeah, I think he'd get 2. I think he'd get 3. That's like, I think it goes to a game 7 if that's a series. Like, first of all, as a fan watching that, a game 7 would be just like that would just be like the greatest thing I could watch. So I think that would be pretty cool. But
I mean, I love Minnesota's roster. I don't think it's quite there just yet. Like,
yeah,
I love Rob Dillingham. I love Jalen Clark. Terrence Shannon's great.
I love Terrence Shannon.
I love a lot of their roster. I mean, Nikhil Alexander Walker, big free agent this offseason. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
Not even mentioning Big Jelly. Shout out Big
Big
Jelly. I love
Jelly.
Naz Reid.
Yes. You don't love Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, that's all that needs to be
Okay.
said. What did you think last night about Russ's performance? You know, after
Oh shit, my mic just disconnected.
come on, man.
And oh wait, hold on. When? Oh my god. I can't switch mics while recording. Oh my god, what have I done? I've had a howler here. Oh my goodness.
Bro,
Oh my
leave it.
goodness, I've had a howler.
Leave it. You're fine. You're fine.
Does it no? Because it's like
I
nah.
can
Hold
hear
on,
you.
hold on,
Like I
hold
can
on,
hear you. Like what?
hold on. Technical difficulties. Hold on. Apologies, technical difficulties there. That's my fault. I was trying to imitate Rudy Gobert on the microphone stuff, but had a little bit of a howler there.
Absolute howler.
Okay, you ain't had to reiterate that shit. Anyways,
I did.
um, you said you take the Nuggets in the series. I say I take the Timberwolves in the series. Only if Jamal Murray's it depends on Jamal Murray's health, but we'll get into that if it happens. If we don't even know what's going to happen yet, so whatever. And then we're going to talk, obviously, from that Curry performance, 52 performance game. The NBA is investigating Ja because he made a little bit of a handgun gesture toward the Warriors bench. Um, yeah, what you think about for that one?
Mm, I think the NBA is soft, man. It's so hard for me to I don't understand why you're looking at that. Like I know Ja has a history, sure. I even thought those suspensions were like kind of harsh. Right? I mean, especially when you have like alleged women abusers in the league and alleged rapists still in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Adam Silver has to get his ass kicked. It's a disgrace that you're looking at this, but you won't punish a guy like Miles Bridges or Kevin Porter Jr., Josh Primo. It's a disgrace. I'm glad nothing happened in Ja because nothing should happen. Glad nothing happened to Buddy Hield because again, nothing should happen. That's the softest shit I've ever seen. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
and
it
then
is.
when you look at it, it's almost like it is soft, but if you're investigating it, obviously you're looking at the hand gestures he made and stuff like that. Which okay, maybe like if you really want to go to an extent of punishment, the most you can do is a small fine, right? If
Yeah,
you really want to go there, but still you shouldn't really go there. But then you look at it, it's like you're investigating Ja for that. But then you go back a couple days ago when we had the Pistons and Timberwolves scuffle, and you suspended and put bans on 4 players in that scuffle. So you're saying that scuffling in an NBA game is worse than making that gun sign, even though you investigated both of them. I just don't understand. Like if you're investigating the handgun gesture, which you shouldn't in the first place, you should make it right and make it make sense. That you should give him a punishment to at least like I don't know, like constitute the investigation,
Yeah, yeah.
something like that.
I'm
If you're not
glad.
going to give a punishment, then don't fucking investigate at all.
I'm glad. I'm glad they let him off with a warning. I don't think it should be anything more than that. I don't really even think a warning is necessary because I don't think it was that serious of an issue.
It wasn't at
But
all.
it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I wanted to move back. I know we kind of moved away from the Nuggets game, but I wanted to move back to
Why
the
does this keep
topic of.
happening to me? Bro, I
Are
didn't
you
even touch
serious?
anything. I didn't even
Are
touch
you
anything.
serious,
I swear to
bro?
God, I didn't touch anything.
You wholeheartedly did something, bro. I saw
Bro,
you
I
pull.
plugged my computer in.
You pulled
What?
that charge. You pulled the charger out. Like
Where?
I don't know.
That's my fault again. But we move.
Yeah.
We move. Go ahead.
Back to our talking point. Russell Westbrook. You saw the plays he made. The plays he made in that Timberwolves game. He caught so much backlash, especially from Lakers fans, especially from Clippers fans. I don't even want to get into it, but I do want to get into it because I don't know. I think that was so messed up in what Lakers fans and what Clippers fans are saying. Russ has been having a great season for the Timberwolves. He's been a key contributor to their success. And to target him over one bad game, like granted, it was like the greatest game of Nikola Jokic's career that he messed up. But still, to target him for one bad game is absurd to me.
It is. And he wasn't even playing that bad until the final 15 seconds of the game. I'm not gonna lie.
He was playing great, especially considering that he played him most of the game with Jamal Murray out. He could. I mean,
He played 47 minutes
yeah, no. Well,
off
it
the
says
bench.
yeah, it says 38
So,
here,
oh,
but
38?
38.
Oh, was it
So
38?
not as
Sorry.
much as I expected, but that's still a long time, and
Yeah, off the
you can
bench too.
you can expect a player to make mistakes at some point, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously in that situation when I'm running back to whatever 15-second mark there was when um, Minnesota committed a turnover or took a shot and then they missed it. Westbrook got the rebound, sprinted out. In that moment, when you're only up by 1 with 10 something seconds left to go, take it to the rack. Don't dribble back out because there's no guarantee you hit the free throws. And then
Yeah,
on the other end, if you're only up by 3 still. So it's better to take the points. Obviously, when you're in a fast break layup, to take the points and go for a layup and make the layup, which he didn't. But I'm saying if he did, if everything went to plan, make the layup, take your 2 points, and then set up on defense. So I don't blame him for taking that shot, even though everybody's saying, no, you should dribble down, run down time. There would have been the exact same amount of time for the Timberwolves. Like, it doesn't matter with that. And he missed layup. Like that's just like basketball. In my opinion, playing basketball like almost my whole life, the hardest thing to do is make a layup on a fast break.
I feel like some people who are talking bad about Russ, I feel like a lot of people just don't get in those situations. Like they don't know how hard it is to close out without fouling when you've got adrenaline pumping, when you're in the clutch. Double overtime, I mean,
Double overtime as well. Yeah.
it's tough, man. I think you got to be more lenient on Russ.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, honestly, at the same time, um, Alexander Walker takes the 3, but Russ jumps into him because if he commits the foul, 0.2 of a second later, then it's not a foul because the game would have been over.
Yeah, no,
Because you can't
exactly.
call a foul when the game's over. Buzzer went off. You can't call a foul after that.
I don't necessarily I don't think Russ was thinking about that, but I think it was just more of a adrenaline pumping
Yeah,
moment. He
100%.
just
Close out.
tried give the best closeout he could possibly give.
Yeah, 100%. And he just jumped into him, and it's just I don't know. Andy Hooper would agree with that. Like that's just adrenaline pumping, and obviously he will learn from it, even though he's a 37-year-old man. But he's gonna learn from it for the season. I mean, yeah, honestly, like going to playoff times, there's gonna be it's gonna be a clutch game every single game from the
Exactly,
playoffs
exactly.
onwards. So like knowing that, like, yo, I already made that mistake, I'm gonna take it on myself, and I'm gonna do better next game. Like I think it'll be better for him and the Nuggets in the long run. But yeah, still a great game. Still a great game. And then
Now,
bouncing back too.
of course, I saw it as a San Antonio Spurs fan. You see his game last night?
He did. He had what, 32?
He finished with 30, 11, and 6 with 3 steals.
Yeah, that's a game. That's a bounce back game for sure.
There was some vintage Russ moments there. I mean, obviously depleted squad. None of Denver's starters played last night. We barely played our starters. Keldon and Vassell were out. But yeah, Denver ran out starters of Jalen Pickett, Hunter Tyson, Zeke Nagy, Russell Westbrook, and DeAndre Jordan. Yeah. So yeah, that was a vintage Russ performance. That was a Russ carry job right there.
Yeah, I can't wait for Nuggets fans in the future to be like, oh, you're gonna call me a bandwagon when I had to watch this shit? I'm like, bro, y'all like won the championship 2 years ago, and you're about to like be a 2 seed in the West, and you're gonna say that you're gonna use that meme. Like,
To
have
be
you seen like
fair,
memes like the
to be
Warriors?
fair, I have seen Lakers fans say the same shit with like lineups that have like Jordan Clarkson in it, bro. Like, come on,
Those were rough times. Like, what are you talking
bro. It's
about?
never it's never rough. It's never rough being a Laker, bro. Come on.
We had
There's never
17
been
wins
rough
that
times.
year. We had
Okay,
17 wins that year.
okay,
I don't even think your franchise has as low as 17 wins in the year. Like, I
okay.
think
That's
17
like
wins is like the fourth lowest of all time. Like,
okay. I don't think that's that bad. And like considering y'all won a championship in 2020, like
yeah, but that Jordan Clarkson lineup was in 15 or 16?
yeah. So y'all won a championship 5 years later. I think a
We
lot
were
of
bad for
franchises
a
would go for that.
decade.
A
What's
lot of
what's
franchises would go for that.
okay? So when you look at the Warriors ones, where it's like we were in a
Oh, the
lineup
Warriors.
of what?
There's no excuse for the Warriors to win. It's that 2020 season when they had like Kai Bowman out there,
Yeah,
Omari
Eric
Spellman.
Pascal,
Uh,
Nico Mannion, Eric
th-
Pascal.
no, I think Mannion was after that because that was he was in the Wiseman draft class.
Oh, then it was what? Oh, Pascal,
Uh,
D'Angelo Russell,
who am I thinking of? Evans the third. I can't think of his first name.
Jacob Evans the third.
Jacob Evans the third.
Oh, and they had Glenn
Marquise
Robinson the third.
Chris. Marquise Chris.
Yeah, Glenn
Marquise
Robinson the
Chris.
third.
Yeah, it was Glenn Robinson. It's not Jacob. It's Glenn Robinson.
Well, there's a Jacob Evans. I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to think. I don't know who I'm thinking of, but
Let's see
Marquise
here.
Chris was a dog for that team too. I remember that.
Yeah, Jacob Evans, man.
Okay,
Come
I was
on.
wrong.
Well, I mean, like he is a player. Like I'm not saying he played on that team. Um,
I have no clue. Like,
we're gonna find out here. Jacob Evans. Oh my God, he was on that squad.
okay, I was right.
So yeah, and Glenn Robinson the third, and then yeah, Kai Bowman, all that kind of stuff. There was another guard that they had that was like, I'm trying to think.
I feel like Kai Bowman was the guy you're thinking of.
It probably is. Kevon Looney was still on that team.
Yeah, Draymond. I mean, obviously Draymond was there, but Draymond was in the lineup.
Damian Lee, Jordan Poole was young.
They still
Amari Spellman.
that was when Jordan Poole was bad. That was probably Jordan
Yeah,
Poole's worst year.
yeah, 100%.
He broke out in the next year.
Yeah. Oh, Willie Cauley Stein. Um, Zach Norvell. Alec
You remember?
Burks was on that team.
Do you remember that
Dragon
squad?
Bender.
Do you remember that squad going into Houston on Christmas Day and beating the Rockets with James Harden and Russell
Oh yeah,
Westbrook?
yeah. That was when Eric
That's
Pascal
a
went
vivid
off, bro.
memory.
Yeah,
So yeah, no,
and
that was a
Draymond went off. Yeah,
shout out all rookie first team member Eric Pascal. You know,
right. That boy was cold. Anyways, we're gonna move on to probably our
move
favorite part of this show.
move on from the 2020 Warriors.
Yeah. This is probably our favorite part of the show right here. Did anybody see Myers Leonard made some music?
Unfortunately, my ears did. I had to hear his TikTok. I mean, I don't hate the style of music, but his sound is terrible. He
Yeah, I
doesn't
don't.
have he doesn't have the accent for it. Like,
Yeah, like I enjoy listening to country music and stuff like that. But I was telling you this last night when we were like kind of like listening to. It, I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, if any other country artist made that music or song, I think it would be pretty good. Um, but the fact that Myers Leonard made it, like his voice just doesn't go with
He don't
anything
got the
music.
voice. He don't got the accent. I mean,
Nah, he's from
he's from
Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah, and people said in the comments of that TikTok that is Cracker Barrel music. I was like, oh nah, that's damn.
I could 100% see Myers Leonard hopping on the right wing grifter pipeline. I mean, especially after like essentially getting out of the NBA for saying a slur on stream. Like that's so that's so Myers Leonard of him.
It really is. Um, yeah, and then to
Cut
go make
country
music.
music. He's gonna go hop on the grifter pipeline. He's gonna talk
Yeah.
about how the league shunned him. He doesn't like Kendrick Lamar's music. His halftime show wasn't great. Like I could already see it. Like
Oh my god, is he gonna start dissing? I don't know. Is he gonna start dissing
LeBron? No,
Kendrick?
he's gonna start. No, he's gonna start dissing LeBron.
LeBron.
That's always where it goes. That's always where it goes when somebody hops on the right wing pipeline and they're involved in the sports community. They always go straight for LeBron. Like no matter what. I mean,
Or he can diss Eric Spoelstra.
that's fair. I feel like his beef would more be with Adam Silver
Adam Silver, yeah, something like that.
Pat Riley, but
Yeah. I mean,
Spoke could get some strays. I mean,
we're saying beef, but like he full heartedly deserved his ban and suspension and stuff
yeah,
like
no,
that.
come
So
on, bro, come on.
come on now. You can't go on stream and
Yeah, you can't say that live on stream. And the fact that he was so comfortable to say it on stream means he says that off stream like
yeah, 100%.
regularly.
Yeah, no, hell no. Anyways, we're gonna move away from Myers Leonard. Actually hold on. I still remember when he in the bubble when he stood for the anthem
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
that's
Like
I know exactly what he is, bro. Like
his
I told you
reasoning,
about
his reason
the
for
right
it
wing
was
grifter.
yeah. His reason for it was like I'm not gonna say like it was 100% fair and justified, but like his reason for it, where his brother serves in the army and stuff like that, so he
That's not
can't diss
terrible.
it there.
That's not terrible.
That's not terrible, but then also like for the you could have you could have kneeled for one of them.
Considering what the players were kneeling for,
Yeah, the circumstance of it, like
it's not justified.
yeah,
Still,
yeah,
it's
like
still not justified.
like if I had a brother and he was in the army, like I feel like my brother would have been supportive of me kneeling for the anthem rather
That
than standing solitary for him, because like
that
that's putting your brother over every single BLM movement at the time, which is kind of weird.
that reminds me. You remember when Jonathan Isaac stood for the anthem? And
Yeah,
then he went on to tear his
yeah.
ACL like not that long after. I mean, could you imagine a right wing grifter tour with Jonathan Isaac and Myers Leonard? I mean, maybe even an old head like John Stockton on there too. You got a
Oh my
big three
god,
of right wing grifters. I mean,
there you go.
big three of
Jesus.
joblessness right there.
What? Anyways, yeah. Moving away from the right wing grifters to people that are actually cool. The Thunder.
Shout out the Thunder. 11-game win streak after last night. I mean, obviously Shea's been incredible. League MVP, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Nah.
Get used to it because he's negative 4,000 in the odds. He's gonna win MVP. It's a thought at this point. He's wrapped up the MVP race. Shout out to Thunder.
Best player for the best team. Obviously, you go in night in and night out, just 30 points. I think I was looking at it earlier, just how consistent he is.
His whole life's consistent.
Like the Tide, night in and night out.
His whole life's consistent.
Yeah, but you go down like what he's done in the past, 15 games. Obviously, over this 11-game win streak, he's been incredible. But you look down it and it goes 33, 27, 33, 37, 32, 26, 30. He missed the game against the Sixers, but then you go back 31 and then 48 against the Pistons on the 15th. So that's within that 11-game win streak. And, they're rolling. Like they're 100% rolling. Best team in the league right now. Best team in the West, the loaded Western Conference. If they win out, they hit 70 games, which obviously they don't have to do because they've already clinched the conference. They already rounded up that one seed.
I don't know. I feel like there's something special about running up to 70 games.
There is, but then
we saw it. We saw it bite the Warriors in the.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The Warriors push-ups was a little too hard at the end of the season. Um, given the Rockets that year though were on their tail for most of the season
Yeah.
because the Rockets already had what they were like, or was it the Spurs
I think I want to say it was
or
us
was it
that
the
year.
Thunder? No, no, Spurs was the year
I
after.
think yeah, we're 2017. We pushed them in 2017 because actually no, are we? I
No, because
think
the
we pushed
Thunder,
them in 2016.
no, because Thunder was the 2 seed. Because I remember that was the year when the Warriors came back 3-1 from the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. The year after was the one where Zaza hurt Kawhi.
No, yeah, that was, but I'm thinking regular season. I'm trying to think.
It might have been the Spurs that year.
It was us. It was us. That I was
Oh, it
like,
was.
that's when we had that crazy record at home. That's when we were 30-1 at home.
Ah, you're right.
That's
Yeah,
what I was thinking of. I was like, we went 67-15 that year. Yeah, no, we
yeah,
pushed them
like
all the way up. Like,
yeah. So obviously you kind of have to play those games, but if you want to get that 1 seed, so in the Thunder's case though, you don't have to. You can rest the entire rest of the season and still get that 1 seed, and then get a favorable matchup.
they might still win games resting players. I mean, we're
Oh,
not talking
100%.
about how deep this team is. Like
Yeah, exactly. Like you might have
the savior of basketball, the center of the universe, Aaron Wiggins,
exactly. You have Aaron Wiggins. You have Isaiah Joe off the bench. You have well, okay,
Jay
yeah,
Will.
Jay Will. Who else did you have? You'd have.
Nikola Topic hasn't played this year. I don't know if he's healthy yet, but
I don't think he is yet.
be interested to see what he would look like in some runs. Ousmane Dieng, if you still believe in him, he's still been
Yeah, I mean just to rest your starters, obviously. Like just put out some lineups like that.
Kenrich
Um,
Williams,
Probably Caruso would play a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Cason Wallace might still play.
Yeah, so you have like just such a deep team and of guys that are just like they play out there for their own boys. So that you'll to see that. And obviously, I can't wait for the watch Thunder in the playoffs. Obviously, last season when they made the playoffs, they were still a young team, and it was
I
a
didn't,
little different to see them. So they were still fun to watch. But this season, obviously, the chemistry that they had from last season carries over to this season, and we've
I
seen that
love
all year.
I love that roster from last year, but I just couldn't see them making the run. I couldn't see them making it all the way just because of the inexperience, how young they were.
Hmm.
But I think this year's the perfect time. I think they make it to the finals.
100%. Um, and obviously staying on the course of Thunder and how much chemistry they have. It's not only within their team. Um, if you don't know already, Nick Gallo is the reporter for the OKC broadcast or home broadcast. He's the sideline reporter who does all this stuff and the post game interviews with all the players and stuff. If you haven't seen it, they always go around him and huddle around him and kind of have a little bit of fun after the game, after a win and stuff like that. And they made Nick Gallo a shirt, and that shirt is beautiful.
I I first saw it on Twitter last night. That's so awesome, man. I can't remember the user, otherwise I shout it out. But that was so awesome. Chet responded to it as well.
Hmm.
That team's
Yeah,
awesome, man.
it's awesome, and
I love everything about that team. They're the best thing for basketball, and I think that's one of the NBA's biggest mishaps right now is they're not marketing the Thunder like they should be. The
yeah,
Thunder should be the most popular team in basketball right now.
100%. Just from how fun, like how fun they are, how
The
much of a team
vibes.
they are. Yeah, the vibes are up and stuff like that. Obviously, when if you look at past teams, the biggest marketed team was the Warriors, and why were they marketed? They're a fun team. Steph was shooting all these threes and all this kind of stuff. Then you go back the Miami Heat. Obviously, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, fun team to watch. Obviously, then you go back to Lakers, Kobe, and all of them were playing. Then you go back to again the Spurs and the dynasty that they had with Pop and everything. Fun teams to watch should be the biggest marketed teams in the NBA, not a aging 40-year-old LeBron James, as great as he is, no disrespect to him, the GOAT. No, you should not be marketing LeBron James. You shouldn't be marketing Stephen Curry anymore. It should be on the young guys like Anthony Edwards, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm going to call Nikola Jokic young, but it's just because of how the market's valued him. They haven't
Yeah,
marketed him as well, so he still feels young because they haven't
absolutely.
marketed him. So, and then obviously, guys like Jason Tatum, you got to find the new guys and the young, fun, competitive spirit in the league to market.
I'm shocked you said that as a Lakers fan. I'm shocked you were just like,
Oh, 100%.
give the Lakers more coverage and not
Yeah.
more so put the spotlight on the Thunder, an
Yeah.
actually deserving team.
Yeah. And then even the Spurs, I'll give you y'all credit. You have Wemby.
We don't need to be
Market
marketing.
Wemby.
We don't need to be marketing.
Well, obviously not right now, but like in the offseason, put more market on him. And then obviously, I mean, I'll put back the Lakers in the conversation, but Luka, I mean, but he's already been marketed very well when he was at Dallas. Um, obviously, he doesn't need any more marketing. Move to a bigger market himself, so it'll do. It'll kind of his
It'll
marketing
even
will
out.
work out
It'll
itself.
even
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
it'll work out.
We already
Um,
saw the marketing
yeah,
push, like all my exes live in Texas. We saw what Jordan was doing with the parking
the
lot
Jordan
for
was
his Lakers
beautiful. Yeah,
debut.
the Jordan one, or the Jordan one with
Makes you think
the
about how that trade came about, but it's
right
different topic for a different day.
the Jordan ad or little clip from when Luka played the Mavericks the first time after being traded. Um, that was really cool when they brought out was it the 6'7" Impala and then changed license plate to LA from Dallas and all that kind of stuff. That was what you're talking. That's what you're talking about, right? The
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
all my ex live in Texas. Yeah, beautiful. And then obviously all that kind of stuff. So yeah, um, we're gonna move into the Final Four predictions. Kind of gotta move it along here a little bit. I got class in 15 minutes, so we'll go some quick Final Four predictions. We'll start obviously with the women's that start tomorrow. First game on tomorrow, UConn UCLA. Who you got?
UConn UCLA is a tough one because UCLA's been so good this year. I got to go with UConn. Just the championship pedigree. You got the X factor in that game and Paige Beckers. You got AZ Fudd, knockdown shooter. I mean, you got Sarah Strong, the freshman of the year in women's basketball. I have to go with UConn in this game.
Yeah, I full heartedly agree with you. I think UConn just has obviously the X factor in Paige Beckers, but again, champion pedigree. We talked about it on Tuesday. Gino Ariel is one of the greatest college basketball coaches of all time. No matter what side of the ball, men's or women's, he's one of the greatest of all time. And UConn just has it, and Paige has it. She's like that. She's about to go to the league next year. We saw with Caitlin Clark. She has it. And so I think obviously UCLA has been probably the best team all season, but when you get to the Final Four, it's anybody's game. So I'm taking Paige Beckers and UConn. And then obviously going on to the later game, South Carolina, Texas. I mean, I kind of
Fourth matchup of the season. Come on, you already know. You already know. Come on.
yeah, I'd agree with you on this one, but Don
Yeah.
Staley exists. I'm taking South Carolina. Dynasty stays alive. I think just obviously we're gonna talk about X factors and stuff like that too. So I think the X factor in this game is how well Don Staley coaches this team and gets them prepared for this game. I think that's a big thing that sometimes gets overlooked with coaches and stuff like that. But Don Staley again is one of the greatest coaches of all time in college basketball. So I think South Carolina gets it done. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't think so, man, but we'll see.
We'll see. And then going on to the men's Final Four, which starts on Saturday. We'll start with Duke and Houston.
Duke. I have Duke winning it all. So I got to ride by Duke.
Yeah.
Practicing in the Spurs practice facility yesterday.
Okay,
they said it's an elite facility. Tom Knipple and Cooper Flagg getting used to home. Maybe come on Malawash, getting used to home. There was a picture I saw. I actually saved it in my phone of Cooper Flagg.
No way.
Of Cooper Flagg standing on the court with the Spurs championship banners in the background. I mean, come on. You're still alive in there.
I'm sleeping because all your dreams are flowing. So,
Exactly.
just keep dreaming, boy. I'm taking Duke. I just love Cooper Flagg too much to pass up on him. That's literally my reasoning. And then
I can't say that's insane, but I mean, to not mention anybody else on that team.
okay, then Colin Knipple, Colin Malawash, Tyrese Proctor's been lights out this entire playoff or March Madness.
Isaiah Evans.
Yeah, and then I obviously give respect to Houston. I think they've had a great tournament run. They've been playing, really really good brand of basketball that I really like to watch. And no, I think they just fall short.
Yeah,
and then obviously, I think this is probably the best matchup I've seen. We're going to see all season. For the third time though, Florida Auburn.
I'm going Florida. I think Florida's just been too dominant. I can't pick against Florida. We saw them in that Tech game. Walter Clayton Jr. is the clutchest player in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
I can't pick against Florida. I had them going to the national championship. In some brackets, I'm going to stick by that,
Yeah. I got Florida. They're my champion through and throughout. And obviously, I mean, just like how you said, you have Duke as your champion. That's why you pick them over Houston. I have Florida as my champion, so I would pick them over Auburn. You said it. Walter Clayton Jr. has been awesome. And I mean, they're just really hot. They're a hot team. Obviously Auburn was the best team in the nation all season. But Florida did beat Auburn towards the end of the season, and they have their most recent number against them. So I think it'll just be a great game, fireworks and flames all around. But I think Florida gets it done.
We want to get our natty picks in while we're at it. Just right there, we just pick the path to it.
I got Florida over Duke in the men's, and then the women's, I got UConn over South Carolina.
For me, I got Duke winning it all. I can't see this Duke team losing. They're so tough. They got so many guys who can get it done, both ends of the floor. I got to go with Duke. And then on the women's side, you already know it. Come on. That's the most biased shit I've ever seen. But at the same time, like, bro, you can't blame me. I ride in this team so much. Maddie Booker, Rory Harmon, Vic Schaefer's Coach of the Year. Come on, bring it home.
Okay, that's okay. Do we got time for draft time? I got class in 10 minutes.
Class or signature sneaker draft them?
Yeah, it's just English. I'll be late. It's okay. Okay, so yeah, our drafting topic of today is current signature shoes. Do you want to narrow it down to the specific model or just the athlete in general?
Just the athlete.
All right. You got number one pick. Go ahead.
Savvy.
Fuck.
Come on, that's like the easy. That's the freest. That's a lay right there. That's a lay Russ had at the end of the game.
Yeah. Well, I can't blame you for taking that. Sabrina Ionescu is one of my favorite players on the planet right now. I'm gonna take Ant. I think
that's not a bad shout. I don't hate that at all.
I think kind of combine, the shoe itself is really good. And then obviously the marketing for it, I think, is one of the best we've ever seen. Probably behind Jordan. Second overall, I'm trying to think. Now, you see, here's where you know what? Now I'll leave it on the board for later. I'm gonna go with Harden. I'm going.
That was my next pick. That was my next pick.
I shout out ASU legend James Harden, but his shoes are they're so clean.
Switching up the flow, getting back to Nike, I'm gonna have to go with the Book Ones. Ooh. I know we weren't doing specific models, but there's so many different colorways of the Book Ones. I mean, we were talking about it last episode with the Sedonas, with the Flagstaffs,
the Moabs.
Yeah. I love the Book Ones. The Cortezes. I love the Book Ones, and those have to be on there.
Yeah, which second pick or third pick?
It's tough. I was gonna go Harden and Book back to back, but you took Harden, so I got some deciding. But they're not out yet. But I'm gonna have to go with the A1s. Shout out A'ja Wilson. Keeping with the Nike theme. The A1s. I just saw A'ja is holding an event in Tampa for the Final Four. They Nike invited Texas out. Texas the Nike school, and A'ja Wilson was hooking all the Texas players up with her gear ahead of the South Carolina game, which I thought was kind of strange. She's a South Carolina legend, so
yeah, interesting. For my third pick, I'm gonna take the Jaws. Ja Morant's. I think that's one of probably the behind Sabby. I think that's one of the probably Book and then whatever. They're really clean. They're lightweight shoe. You can make a lot of colorways with them. For my fourth pick, this is where it gets dicey. I want to ask your opinion on this one. If I take the Kyries, are we going with the Nike Kyries or the Anta Kyries?
You gotta go with the Anta. We're talking current. Come on.
Okay, you're right. In that case, I'm gonna switch over to. I'm gonna take the Jamal Murrays. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. For New Balance, those Jamals, my dad has a pair of them, and they are hella clean. They're so nice on court. They feel nice. If you know, you know. Jamal Murray.
That's fair.
Yeah.
My next pick, I got to go with the leading Way of Wades. Got to go with the Way of Wades. I mean, that's a sleeper. And there's not necessarily a newest model because there's so many different models of lead-ins. But those shoes are absolutely beautiful. There's so many different colorways you could do with those. I love them.
Yeah. And your last pick?
Wrap up the list. Got to go with KD's, man.
Yeah,
Probably the most. I feel like out of the big athletes at Nike, he has the most consistent signature shoe.
100%.
And I always rock KD back when I played. I
Yeah,
love rocking KDs. Always consistent. So many colorways.
yeah. Because you took the Wades, I'm gonna take the Kobe's. Because technically,
Can we do that? I mean, come on.
they're still making shoes.
Come on. That's crazy.
They're still making shoes, man.
I mean, I know you got your favorite team, the Dodgers, coming out with the colorway.
Fuck.
Will you be buying those? I mean,
2025 NL West champions, baby. Come on now.
yeah, we know that ain't happening.
All right, well, whatever. Anyways,
I
let
think
us
I
know
won the
what you
draft
think.
him.
That's some bullshit, bro. I
I think I
Harden
won the
and
draft him.
bro. Okay, whatever. We'll see.
Come on.
Kobe probably carries mine, but we'll see. Anyways, that was episode 10. We appreciate y'all for listening. We will see y'all next Tuesday. I'm hella gonna be late to English. Hopefully this mic doesn't act up next week, but we will be back with another episode for y'all. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.